Righty tighty. Hey folks. Hey folks on Zoom, can you hear me? Those on Zoom, can you? Ah, yes. Tom Grange. Hey, mate. Right, and we got peeps here on Facebook and YouTube. We'll be starting in 2 minutes. Hey, Richard. Right. So Ali on YouTube said you can't stay, but could you retype that question? So I've got everything set up. I can't like sort of flick around. What was the question, Ali? Annoyingly, I've got a frog in my throat again. Okay. Yeah, Tom, ask your feel free to ask your questions. Non-basic, cool. Yeah, I'll ask the crypto questions at the end. Right, let's get this other thing up. Righty tighty, that is 12 o'clock. Let's crack on. Hey folks, nice to see you all here. So as you can see from the title of today's video, it's a bit of a facetious title, but there are some very important business lessons that we can pick from what's happened. And for those of you who are not familiar with what's happened, basically check out my Facebook profile. Well, actually, let's start from the beginning. Sometime last year, I had a bet with one of my mates. My mate is called Sam. He's a jolly nice guy. And we've been playing golf. Basically, the three of us, me, Neil Gurney, and Sam, we've been playing golf for years together. And for years and years and years, Sam has always been the far better golfer. Like, he's a good golfer. I mean, I've even seen him get a hole-in-one right in front of myself. Like it was just amazing. I've never thought I'd ever see a hole-in-one. Well, he did one. And so just so you know, like, he's a far better golfer than me. And on average, he goes round in about 80 to 85. So he's a good golfer. And on average, I go around in 95 to 100. No, actually, probably 95 on a good day. On a bad day, 110. Like, I'm not a good golfer at all. And so whenever we play, he gives me a handicap, like sometimes 10 or 15 shots. And even sometimes he's given me a 15-shot handicap, and I still haven't beaten him. So that is sort of the levels of golf. And so in November last year, after a whole bunch of smack talk, which I haven't shared, there's a lot of smack talk in the WhatsApp group, and that I have not shared, but it's hilarious. I said something along the lines of, how about we have a bet? And that I bet you at some point in 2021, I will beat you off scratch. Now, he took it. And long story short, I won. So last week I won that £1,000 bet. So that is, I guess, the overall thing. And if we have a look, I'm going to share my screen now. So those on Facebook, you can't see it. So I'll just have to sort of read out bits and bobs. So share my screen, get rid of that, get rid of that. Okie dokie, let's get a new tab open. Here we go. So yeah, what it looked like is this. So if I click all these pictures, 1 second. Yeah, so basically I got 3 frames. I took the £1,000 in cash into £5 notes. So I got 200 £5 notes, and I made a piece of art. And this is what it looks like. And I think clearer pictures is if you go to Siam is better at golf than Sam.com. So as we can see here, so let's go to there. Siam is better at golf than Sam.com. And I've put all the pictures on. Oh, come on. So I am sharing the screen. Sam Waterhouse. Yeah, the Zoom link is on my profile. I made a status the other day, or earlier today, actually, with the Zoom link. Anyway, for some reason, okay, so the videos aren't loading because of my shitty internet. But when you have a chance, watch that video, because there's more to it behind the scenes. But this is what it looked like, and so I made my first piece of art. I've never made art before. I think it's all right. And I've put a whole bunch of his smack talk, some of his smack talk. So as you can see, this is why I'm milking this, and this is the last day I'll milk it, and then it's gone. But his writing is in the white, mine's the green. So basically, he's saying he'll never beat me. I'm always going to be shit. Ability compared to Sam Hewitson, shit. 2021, 2022, 2023, etc., etc. So here's my original thing. I said, so my short game and golf attire are likely to remain shit, lol. However, I'm willing to wager £1,000 that within 10 rounds of golf, after I get my new clubs, I will have beaten you off scratch. He took it, yada, yada, yada. And then cue the next 3-4 months of just pure, inane smack talk from Sam. It's very simple as to why he won't be able to beat me. The difference of hours and hours of golf played over my younger years is so ingrained. A few lessons might cut out some mistakes, but you need to play about 3,000 to 4,000 rounds to catch up. In the summer holidays, we used to play 2 to 3 rounds a day and 4 rounds every weekend. I haven't done the maths, but it's a lot. I'll put a few hours in to practice and sharpen up, and then it'll be impossible. I then said, lol, I'm not a normal human, mate, though. Sorry, I'm not a normal human, though, mate. He then went on to say, haha, no, but similar. So I did some interesting math. Basically, he just goes on about how many thousands of hours of golf he's played. Yada, yada, yada. And yeah, even more embarrassing than when I beat you off scratch. And yeah, so then I said, this is me when I win my £1,000 next year. I've decided that when I do, I'm going to withdraw it in £5 notes and make a big framed artistic piece called The Hewitson Humiliation. 200 £5 notes and a few printout of your shit WhatsApp chat. One day, someone will buy that piece of art off me for more than £1,000. That's my next step, by the way. I'm going to be selling this art piece for more than £1,000. Someone's going to buy it. I'll make an NFT, a non-fungible token out of it. We'll hang it in the main atrium as you enter the house. It will ensure the maximum amount of, ooh, that's interesting. What's that? From everyone that enters. I'll then proceed on a story of wonder and hard work and confident shit chat from Hewitson. Lol, 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 lol. Yeah, and then there's more chat. There's basically just lots of banter. So, long story short, I won. And then if you look at the centerpiece of this, it takes you to Siam is better at golf than Sam. Now I just have to show you how shit I was. Okay, so here is a video of the first tee at some sort of golf club course. I'm just going to play it. This was last year.
Hole one. So Simon's fifth shot off the tee. Fifth shot off the tee. Where did that one go, Simon? Did that go for water? Okay, right. So Simon,
I just want to give you an idea of how much shit chat Sam gives me on the golf course. He's always bloody filming me as well.
oh, that's right.
We'll get to the business lessons in a minute, don't worry.
I bet you're glad we've got a buggy, aren't you?
What is it now, Sam?
This is shot number 7. First hole.
7 off the tee.
Nice.
There we go.
Anyway, so that's all the context out of the way. Now let's get into the business lessons. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. You don't need to see any of that. So first of all, this was a really hard challenge. Anyone that plays golf knows that to drop 10 to 15 shots, as in to improve your golf game by 10 to 15 shots in the space of 4 months is pretty freaking hard. And so for me, this was an insurmountable challenge. Bear in mind, I've played golf with him for about 5 years, 3 to 5 years, I think. I've never got close to him. And so I thought, screw this. I'm going to apply my goal nailing strategies to it. So everyone has all heard about goal setting, and everyone can freaking goal set, but very few people actually nail their goals. Everyone's really good at getting a new notepad, a fancy pen, drawing out some pretty pictures and mind maps, etc. And then it just stays as a goal. And a few people actually execute their goals or actually nail their goals. So I have a thing called goal nailing. And I do this with business, I do this with money. And so I thought, screw this, I'm going to do this with golf. And although some of my time frames, so when I look at I'm looking at my whiteboards over here at the moment, although whenever I set a goal, I may not always hit it in the correct time frame, I do always hit it. So that's the thing that's the thing I can rest my laurels on. Whenever I set a goal, I hit it. Sometimes my timing is a bit off. So sometimes I may be a year late or 5 years late, but I still hit my goals. And that's the main thing. So I thought, screw this, I'm going to do this with golf. And so what did I have? So what was the first thing I did? Well, I looked at previous games, and I had to, first of all, you have to recognize what your deficit is first. And it's the same with business. If you want to do something in business or money or life, you need to figure out first, what the hell are you lacking? Why are you, like, sometimes I ask myself, Siam, why am I not why am I not a billionaire? And if you ask yourself, why are you not a billionaire? There's going to be a huge list of reasons why you are not a billionaire. And so I had to say, okay, what are my deficits with golf? So first of all, I worked out his average score. It was roughly 80 to 85 per round. My average score, 95 to 110, something like that. So my deficit, I basically said, I've got a 10 to 15 shot deficit that I need to make up. If I get improved by 10 shots, then it's going to be close. But really 15 shots is what I needed. So then the next question is, so now I know what my deficit is. The next question is, how do I reduce my deficit? And this is really important. A lot of people, again, just stop. So with goal setting, there's so many little things you have to work out into the teeniest of details, get really into the weeds so you know what you're doing on a daily basis. And then, if you work everything out to like a daily activity or a daily habit that you need, and you maintain that daily activity or that daily task, your activity compounds over time. So you know that you're going to hit your bigger, chunkier, yearly, decadely goals, etc. So I identified the areas of my deficits. So first of all, my kit, I had shit golf clubs. So that's the first thing. So what did I do? I thought, okay, obviously I can't blame my tools, and having proper golf clubs would, probably knock a couple of shots off, but still, a couple of shots is still closer to the goal. So I got a proper fitting. I went to some local thing. They put lasers everywhere. And basically I hit up after 200 balls. They realized I'm good with some sort of shafts, this weight, this blah, blah, blah. And I got some tailor-made golf clubs. So the golf clubs, yeah. So this was never about winning the money. The money was inconsequential. It's actually just beating Sam. That was the whole thing. So I got some clubs, fancy new clubs. It took over 4 or 5 months to get. So COVID didn't help, yada, yada. So I got, so the kit. Then the practice was the main thing. So I realized my swing was inadequate. So my swing and my tempo and everything about my swing was wrong. And I could not get to where I wanted to get to with my old swing. And I guess the business analogy here is like, you know, if you want to be a billionaire, what's your current vehicle to get you to be a billionaire, or hell, £1 million, whatever? Most of the time, your vehicle is completely wrong. Like I see sometimes people go, oh yeah, you know, in 5 years time, I'm going to be a millionaire. And then like I ask them, okay, well, what's your vehicle to get there? And I shit you not, someone said, well, if I continue working hard in this role, eventually I'll be the ops manager and then the director, and then great. And then I'm like, whoa, okay, there's a incongruence here. I was like, magic wand, let's say you're the director right now. What is it? What's your salary? And he said, I don't know, 70 grand. I was like, okay, well, if you have a 70 grand salary, how long do you think it's going to get you to become a millionaire? Like, are you doing any other stuff? And so like, to me, this is really simple, but for some people, like this was I could see like the penny drop in his eyes, and he was like, oh shit. Because yeah, you may be on a 70 grand salary, but what's the take home? You're going to be bleeding 40% of that. So you're going to be taking home, call it 40 to 50K. What are your outgoings? Most people's outgoings are, I don't know, anywhere between 1,000 to 1,500 quid a month. Or then all of a sudden he's not left with, you know, or he's left with much, but nowhere near enough to get to millionaire status. So then I was like, okay, so even if you reduce your outgoings and tomorrow you're the director of this company, what is your surplus? How are you going to grow your surplus? What APR, what ROI are you going to get per year? And then we realized if he was going to go down that track, that vehicle he got himself in, he wouldn't be a millionaire for like 30 years. So knowing your vehicle is very important. So when I was like looking at my golf vehicle, so to speak, I realized my swing was not going to cut the mustard. So I realized I needed a new swing. And yeah, so practice comes down into mental and physical. So first of all, I had to sort out the mental stuff, as in the knowledge. What knowledge was I lacking? And then guess what I did? I went to YouTube and typed golf tips. And guess what popped up? Nick Faldo popped up. Nick freaking Faldo, like one of the best British golfers ever. And if you YouTube Nick Faldo, he has hundreds, literally, I shit you not, hundreds of golf video tutorials. They're like 4 or 5 minutes long. And every single video he did was just pure gold. And I was like, amazing. So I binge watched Nick Faldo to the point, like he's a really cool guy. If you watch his videos, he's like one of those people that you'd love to have around for dinner or at a dinner party. You'd want Nick Faldo at your table. He's quite a funny guy. Well, from his videos at least. So so I binged Nick Faldo and I picked up a whole bunch of tips that I didn't know. And then using his videos, I realized what my swing needed to look like. So then I went through the laborious process of trying to change my swing. But you can't do that without practice, as in physical practice. So I shit you not, I'm not exaggerating here. From the space of the 1st of January to the end of March, I'd done over 15,000 chips in my garden. So as in I bought a whole bunch of practice balls, and thankfully we got a bit of space out back. And every single day I maintained a minimum of 100 chips, minimum. I mean, there was one day I did 1,000 chips in my garden of various ranges, you know, small chips, the long 100-yard chips, etc. But I did, yeah. And so over basically a 3-month period, really, I did over 15,000 chips. And so my short game, which was always my weak point, was actually really good now. And after 15,000 chips, guess what? My new swing was then cemented and it was natural. So to the point where I didn't have to think about it. Like you don't have to think about changing gear in your car. I had to get my swing. So I was unconsciously competent, basically. So zero brain energy is thinking about, okay, pull this way, get the upper body twist, yada, yada, yada. And I also, naturally, I always had a fade. I'd smack the ball. I get good distance. I get some good power, but they all bugger off right. So that's one thing I had to change. So I had to completely change my swing. So I got rid of my natural fade to now I've got a bit of a draw, which is great. So that's that. So did the mental stuff, did the physical stuff, then the preparation. So here's the thing. So the preparation, I guess practice is part of the preparation. So I got to the point where I thought, okay, during lockdown, obviously I couldn't play any games other than in my garden, but I got to the point where I was like, yeah, I think I've knocked off probably 5 to 7 shots of my game pretty easily. And then I did a few rounds, okay? And now what I did, okay. So preparation actually comes into the next point where I want to talk about, which is psychological warfare. I had to remember, like, for me, this was an insurmountable challenge. So I had to use every tool in my toolbox. And so I had to, even though I don't normally use psychological warfare because I think it's a bit underhand. But with Sam, I mean, this is game on, bitch. So I had to use psychological warfare. So what I did when lockdown opened up, I started playing some rounds of golf on my own to see where it all was. And guess what happened? My short game was on fire, but my long game was just pants. I'd basically configured my swing so I was really good at short chips, but my long drives and my long hits were really bad. Anyway, so I had to do some little course corrections, and that will happen everywhere you go. There will always be a course correction. It's really hot in here today. One sec. So I had to do a few rounds on my own, but then I got to the point where I was like, actually, yeah, I'm nailing this now, and I was quite confident that I'd knocked off 7 to 10 shots off my game. This was sort of like April time, and then I thought, okay, here comes the psychological warfare. So I started doing more rounds, but every round I did, I was doing some little experimentation. So I knew I'd massively improved, but I was just doing some little things. And so the 3 or 4 rounds that I did before our first proper match with Sam, I was sharing my scores. I was like, another shit round. I played at dis, went round in 100 or 97 or blah, 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 blah. And all I was trying to do is lull him into a false sense of security. And guess what? It worked, because it turns out he didn't do any preparation. So he was seeing, for a best part of 3 weeks, doing round after round after round of having shit scores. I wasn't lying. I was telling the direct scores. But what I was doing is I was practicing some experimental shots, which is why the score was really bad. But the core game was there. And so he didn't do any preparation. He basically thought this, I'm way better. I don't need to prepare, yada, yada, yada. And then the day before the actual event, I had a round with my mate called Rich Peck. I don't know if he's here. And we played at dis, and I played dreadfully. I actually played dreadfully. I went around in 97, which is, I guess, average. No real improvement. But the thing is, I was running late that day. I woke up. I did, I think, a live session. I woke up late. I get straight in the office. I did a live session, and then I got straight in the car, and I was running late for the tea. And what I realized, I had no water and no food at all. And by the 9th hole, I was flagging. I was like, oh. And I mean, it was like probably like 3 o'clock. It got to like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I realized I didn't have any water, any food, literally nothing, not even a chocolate bar. And then by 18 holes, I was like, it got to about 4 o'clock, and I was just ready to kill a rabbit. I just wanted to eat anything. And I realized, okay, so energy is crucial. So the next day, which is the game day with Sam, I got up earlier. I had a proper breakfast. I had like the really healthy breakfast. I was fully hydrated, and I took loads of crisps and chocolates and stuff with me in the golf bit. And so, and also we had a buggy this time. The previous day I had to walk, which I'm not a fan of walking. And so I was ready. And like other things, like I promised myself that before I do every shot, I'll always do a practice swing. I've never done practice swings. I would literally normally rock up to the ball, smash. And then sometimes in frustration, I'll put another ball down and then the second one would always go well. So I always had a practice swing. So I know you're probably thinking, what has this got to do with like business and stuff? But all I want to share with you is like all the teeny little weeny things I did along the line, whether it's from being fully hydrated, getting up on time, rocking up on time, putting the mental learning in, putting the physical learning in, and the preparation, like all of that adds, that's improving your game by 1%. And if you do enough 1% improvements, you're going to do things. And then it got to game day. So I was in his buggy, and luckily for me, he screwed up his first tee or whatever. Like he barely got it past the ladies' tee, which is unlike him. He never has bad hits, which is weird. And then I was like, right, I'm going to do what he did to me. He always gets in my head very early in the game, and he always, you know, so I was like, right, time to get out the real psychological warfare, and I just got in his head. So lots of overly excessive laughing, filming him, all that sort of stuff. And I think I got in his head, which is unusual because he's normally quite solid. And it also helped that I was actually playing the best game I'd ever played. And here's the other thing. So the other reason why I'm so bad at golf is that I compound my errors. And this is probably the most important tip of the whole session today. Do not, under any circumstances, compound your errors. This is so critical for trading, especially trading, business, but even golf. So sometimes I'll be on fire and I'll be like par, bogey, par, whatever. And then I'll pull out like a 10. You know, I'll have a bad drive, goes into the woods. I'll try and tiger line it through the woods. It hits more trees. And by the end of the hole, I've scored like 10 or 12 or whatever. And what happens is I then let two bad shots compound into a disaster, as in I ruin the whole game, the whole round. Because that 10, I then finish that hole after scoring 10. I go, oh my God, this is annoying. Guess what I'm going to do on the next tee? Boom, straight in the woods again. And there I go, another 10. And so every round I do, normally for years, I've always had about at least 4 7s and a 10. So yeah, 4 7s and the 10. I mean, that's what, like 9 holes worth of shots in the space of, you know, a few holes. So, and that's because I'm compounding the errors. I'm letting the previous bad shot get in my head, and it just ruins the game. And I've taught thousands of traders over the years, and I see this all the freaking time. Someone has a bad trade. They lose a trade. Guess what they try and do? They revenge trade. You must never, ever revenge trade, because what you're then doing is you're most likely over trading, you're over leveraging, you're not using your proper risk management protocols. And guess what? You turn a bad trade into blowing up your account. And I've done this so many times before. I've lost, I mean, if you were to add up every losing trade I've ever had, it would be 7 figures. It really would. I think in 2020, I lost over in 6 figures in my Dow trade and my oil trade. Each one of them, there's probably 200 grand's worth of losses there. So, and that's, yeah, whenever you got to plan the trade the plan, as is the corny saying in trading, but it's so freaking true. And in golf, if you've ever played golf, just, yeah, it's amazing how one bad hole can ruin your whole game. So for me, that was my main point. Do not compound the errors. So you have to play percentage golf. And what percentage golf is, okay, you screwed it up. Don't turn this bad shot into a bad hole, because a bad hole can turn into a bad game. And so there were, I think twice I hit it into the trees, but I didn't try and be an idiot and try and go straight for the green from the trees. I was like, okay, percentage golf. I'm just going to hit it sideways back onto the fairway, and then one good shot back onto the green. I've only dropped a shot as opposed to dropping 4 shots on a hole. So yeah. So percentage golf is a term. It's the same with business. And I was thinking, and I said this with Neil and Sam, many times, where they've watched me absolutely destroy my whole round after a few games. They go, geez, like, imagine what you're doing in business. Like, if you, it's like, if I can destroy my whole golf game after, a couple of bad holes, imagine what happens in business. And although I'm not the same in business, I know that there are people out there that are, they lose a client, or they lose a supplier, or something, someone slaps you in the face in business, whatever it may be. And then people spiral into the most ridiculous negative spirals. And there's, oh, the world is against me. No one likes me. And they take it out on their staff. And guess what? Their staff then leave. Then, oh my God, I lost this client. Now I've lost my staff. And then and then guess what? You probably you're not paying people, so then you're losing suppliers. And it's like, oh, the woe is me, everyone's against me. And I've seen that in business so many times. So if you are one of those people, you need to be aware of it. Just like I said at the beginning, what are your deficits? You have to be brutally honest with yourself. What are your deficits? And if you know that you're mentally weak in certain areas, you need to come up coping mechanisms to mitigate that mental weakness. And don't be afraid to admit that you have a mental weakness. We all have mental weaknesses. Maybe weakness is the wrong word, a mental deficit or whatever. Just don't get precious about words. We all have mental weaknesses. I still have mental weaknesses. Ellie says I've got self-destructive habits. So, for example, like when things are going really, really well in business or trading or whatever, I will subconsciously do something to make sure I destroy all of that. And I'll do 2 steps forwards and, 1 step back or 5 steps back. So we all have mental weaknesses. So you just got to understand that. And if you're like me and you can ruin a whole round after a bad hole, that I promise you that's filtering down into other parts of your life. I promise you. It will filter into other parts, whether it's relationships, business, trading. I think golf and trading are so similar. It's ridiculous. It's all in the head. Golf is all in the head. Trading is all in the head. The other parts, so going back to sort of preparation, the other thing I was saying, I worked out was that in order to beat Sam, I said, right, really, I need to go around in sort of 80 shots. About 80 shots. And so I thought, right, in my head, I divided £1,000 divided by 80, and it came up with £12.50. So as part of my preparation on every shot, I did my practice swing, and I would say to myself, every single shot, this shot is worth £12.50, Simon. And I treat it as though someone was like, I bet you £12.50 you can't hit it over there on the green or on the fairway. And so I got myself into this little routine, practice shot. This is £12.50, £12.50. And I'll do so much attention on that swing. And that's why I play better. Whereas normally I'd just rock up. I'd probably be looking at my phone on the way up to the phone, like checking my trades, whatever. I'd rock up to the ball, hit the shot, no thinking whatsoever. And guess what? I'm in the trees. That's why I was a shit golfer. Now I'm a much better because I now have, a proper method, a methodology. So basically you just got to treat life like a video game. And that's all I do. I treated golf like a video game, and every time I failed, So that's half an hour of why golf, trading, and business and life are so important. So you probably sat there thinking, bloody hell, you've been anally meticulous about this golf bet. And yeah, damn straight I have. And that's why I hit my goals. Yes, I may be off of my time. I've got some businesses where I should have been, where they've done nothing for 5 years, and it's really annoying because I have investors in some of my businesses, and there's some of the businesses which have been treading water for 5 years, and it's really frustrating. So although I'm late on those targets, I know I'm going to hit them. And someone else said, why don't you spend all this time and effort on your businesses and you'll be even do even better? And the thing is, I do. For me, this was just fun. This was like me playing a new computer game. It was a new personal challenge. And that's the thing. Your life can't just always be about business, work, which is what I used to be. For the first 10 years of my business life, I didn't have a life. It was all work. So this golf thing, this bet was just me, it's like a new computer game for me. And also I want to address the few people that have honestly, no matter what you do these days, you're going to trigger some people. So I had 3 personal messages in my inbox saying how it was massively out of touch, and it was massively out of touch that I'd converted this £1,000 win into some mindless piece of art, and that it would be much better if I hired a painter or an artist to, paid someone £1,000 to do it for me or something, and got that £1,000 back into the economy because COVID has hurt so many people and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, gee, I'm not even going to reply to those people. But it's like, I don't even know what to say to that. Like, it's not like I'm not contributing to the economy. I pay more taxes than most people. I employ, as a group, we've got probably 60 staff. We pay loads of tax. I buy lots of things. Like, I think I am contributing to the economy more than some people. So I have no qualms. But yeah, Sam is on. Yes, Sam's on Facebook. Hey mate, how much have you just heard? Have you heard all of it? He says, meet me on the first tee in an hour. See, the thing, you've opened up a floodgate here, mate, because you're just not going to beat me ever again. See, I've now got to continue the psychological warfare. Someone has asked, what is the next bet? Oh man, I don't think there is going to be another big bet. That was just a one-time thing. In fact, if I was treating this like trading, what I've effectively done is I've planned the trade, I've traded the plan, and I've made £1,000 trade, and I'm going to lock in the profits now. So sorry, Sam, no more bets. I'm locking in the profits. So that's what you do with trading. Whoop. Oh, bloody, that's the... Every session, thankfully, Ellie is going to the door. Thanks, honey. Every freaking live session, we get someone at the door. So, yeah, what was I going to say? Okay, let's go through the questions first. So those on Zoom. Yeah, Tom, your crypto question, just write down your crypto question. I'll get back to that in a minute. Auction for charity. Yeah, we can do all that. By the way, I give a lot to charity already, by the way. But I'm not one of those people that go, hey, look at all the money I've given to charity, because then that's like a sort of an ego trip. I do charity inconspicuously, if that makes sense. So if you think I don't do charity, you're wrong. Gorinda, revenge trading, so stupid, I agree. The saying, how you do anything is how you do everything, springs to mind. Yeah, I completely agree. Right, let's see the questions on Facebook. Congrats on the win, dude. Yep, love my top. Oh, thank you. Joe Lambert. Yes, I do need another lesson. Sorry, Joe, I've got Nick Faldo, though. I mean, you can't compete against Nick Faldo. Sorry, Joe is a go. If you're in the Norfolk area and you need a golf instructor, go to Joe Lambert. He's very good. Very good. Right, any questions? Yeah, so if you have any questions, please pop them in, including you, Sam, if you're still here. Okay, so no questions there. Okay, we've got a whole bunch on YouTube. Okay, so we've got some inflation type questions. Love your content. Okay, YouTube is full of crypto questions. John Denley, that's usually me at about the 10th hole when I start to get tired and the focus goes and then boom, the round is dead. Yeah, that's so true. And normally what I've done, in fact, normally what I do on a round is that I've got my, like in the buggy between shots, I get my phone out. I'm looking at my trades. I'm looking at my emails. I'm looking at whatever. And that's why it's shit. Like we played a 4-ball the other day and there was one of the 4-ball who, I shit you not, was on his phone the whole round. Literally between shots, he was either on the phone. He probably had about 15 phone calls during the round and he was constantly texting. And he only put his phone away just to play the shot, phone out. And guess what? He had an atrocious round. So yeah, focus really is everything. Right. Okay, that's any other questions. So does anyone have any questions about what we've just covered? Otherwise, I'm going to have to start answering all the crypto questions. Gaz said, WAP golf meet. Yes, we really should. I'm really up for that. Okay, I'm going to give it a few more seconds because there is a lag on Facebook and YouTube. Failing that, we're going to go through anything. In fact, Sam, if you're still here, mate, what's the next bet? Basically, if there's not money involved, I'm not really interested. That's why, I play really bad golf when there's a golf round and there's no prize. I like winning. That's probably why. Okay. Right. I think that's all for the golf and business. Oh yeah, here's one other thing. So last golf thing, and then I'll start talking about crypto. As I said, please go to Siam is better at golf. Where is it? Siam. What is the picture? Here it is. Siam is better at golf than sam.com. Okay. Everyone, please go to siamisbetteratgolfthansam.com. It will take you to this webpage and then watch this video. So basically, I'll tell you ulterior motive or my back agenda. What's it called? Ulterior motive? Yeah, ulterior motive. So I don't feel guilty in any way taking £1,000 off Sam at all. By the way, he's a very successful business owner. So that's one reason I don't feel guilty. The second reason I don't feel guilty is because he's been building up to this with all this shit smack talk that is just so satisfying. But the thing is, I do actually want to get him £1,000 back. I'm not going to give it to him. So the reason I've created this webpage, Simon is better at golf than Sam.com, is because I want you to all I want to highlight Sam's two businesses. So he has two businesses. One is called bearingboys.co.uk and the other one is called tackleboys.co.uk. So my next goal is to see if this live session can drum up, and the recording of this obviously can drum up £1,000 of sales for Sam. So if you are a farmer or someone in an industrial business that has the need of ball bearings, transmissions, tools, motors, gearboxes, lubricants, we all need lube. Sorry, that's a bad joke. Go to bearingboys.co.uk. It's really good, honestly, and it's the fastest website I've ever seen. Just click on stuff and stuff loads straight away. It's just insane. I'm very jealous of his website. And also, if you're in the fishing world, have a look at tackleboys.co.uk, and he literally sells anything shipping, fishing wise. So yeah, do check that out. It'll be awesome if he makes more than £1,000 worth of sales. So yeah, if you're in a company that buys ball bearings and stuff like that, definitely check out Bearing Boys. It's really good. Right, that's the last golf thing. I think everyone's bored of me now and wants crypto answers. Okay, here we go. Starting with Zoom. Zoom always has priority. By the way, I post the link to the Zoom things on my Facebook page. So on my Facebook profile. So do join the Zoom. Accounts, whoever account says, can you explain slippage and gas fees, especially when you're putting low amounts, 50 to 10? Yeah. So the problem with Ethereum at the moment is that it's got so many scaling issues. It's ridiculous. To the point where it has the gas fees are just so high. So you have to understand that if Ethereum was a taxi and people are using the taxi to go from A to B, a taxi needs diesel, right? And the diesel in the Ethereum network is called gas, or gwei, if you're going to be pedantic. It's called gwei, but people call it gas. So what's happened because of the scaling issues that Ethereum is facing at the moment, and you know what's going on with the proof of work and proof of stake, the gas fees are just ridiculous. Like I did a few trades or a few movements the other day on some ERC20 tokens, as in Ethereum based tokens, and like to move like $100 worth of Ethereum from one wallet to another, it was costing me like $50 in gas fees. It's just absolutely insane. It's another reason why, although Ethereum will be sorting itself out within the next 2 years, it's going to be a bit too late. And having said that, I still think Ethereum, as in the price of Ether, will still go monumentally high because of institutional money about to flood in. But this is why I'm really bullish on other smart contract platforms like Polkadot, Cardano, Neo when 3.0 comes out, etc. So yeah, they're going to be booming. So that's basically the slippage. You're just basically bleeding through the arse with gas fees if you try and do anything. Yeah, it's the same like when let's say if you go to Aave to do a crypto loan, it's going to cost you like hundreds of dollars in fees, gas fees, just to do that smart contract. It's just ridiculous. So Tom has said he has a few questions. Here we go. One, if ETH will gain more market cap against Bitcoin, surely even with Bitcoin at not 1 million, it's $1 trillion, it's more profitable to be in ETH. I agree. I freaking agree. I've always said, don't bother. That's why I don't have any Bitcoin. I never buy Bitcoin because it's the slowest moving crypto out there, even though it is the fastest growing asset in human history. It does 200% CAGR, compound annual growth rate. And this is why, I'm just going to share my screen. Let's get TradingView out. A live session wouldn't be complete without TradingView. I've always said, I made a video like last year saying don't bother getting Bitcoin because look, this is a chart of Ether against Bitcoin. And Ether was massively undervalued. It was hovering around 0.02. And I said we would have a breakout of Ether and we'd get to 0.1. Well, would you look at that? We had the breakout, and right now it's gone from 0.02 to 0.07. And I said my next reevaluation point is 0.1. And we're almost there. Literally, we hit 0.82 the other day, 0.082. So by being in Ether, you're ending up getting more Bitcoin. So yeah, I've always maintained that. His second question is, we've not seen the bull run with this level of growth before. We have in percentage terms, not dollars. So that's the thing. We've had far bigger growth in previous bull cycles than we have now. But what you're seeing now is just more capital flowing in, but a lower percentage growth. While I agree December, Jan peak, why do you believe this growth will continue for another 6+ months? I'm not sure I understand the question. Basically, I'm saying when you look at the stock to flow model, we should see a peak in December, January time. So that's what, another 4 or 5 months. What was it? We're May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. Yeah, we've probably got another 6 to 8 months of booming, according to stock to flow. So that's what I mean by that. So yeah, that's why I guess I'm irresponsibly long right now. The number 3, using a math of how much extra market cap it will take for a coin to hit a target. Surely there are significant exceptions here, e.g. ADA, its market cap has grown while others have shrunk. So does this not show money can enter the market disproportionately? Yes, the prime example is Dogecoin. Like, how the hell has Doge gone from nothing pretty much to $60 billion market cap? So yeah, that's why when you're doing that calculation of more patient Scriptonians, as in market cap over price times circulating supply, there's a couple of variables. Like at the moment, like historically, Cardano has always been 2% of the global crypto market. So let's have a look at it today. I know I don't need to share the screen. I'll quickly work this out. So right now, Cardano is, call it $70 billion out of, what's the total? 2,118,000. Yeah, so now it's gone from 2% market share to 3.3% market share. I see this going a lot higher. I mean, I see Cardano doing at least 5% market share, but most likely probably it'll end up being 10% market share at some point. So, so that's that. 4, if you're bullish, why aren't you using the futures market with leverage? The crypto market is so volatile already. You don't need leverage with crypto because it's so volatile. And the reason I don't use leverage with margin trading or options trading or futures trading is because it's very different. You have margin requirements and you can get liquidated. That's the thing. I am extremely bullish and I'm basically 100% in. Every spare penny is in crypto. But the thing is, the moment you start margin trading or trading with any form of margin, whether it's futures or options, any little downturn can liquidate you. So that's the thing. Whereas if you just if you play with crypto spot, as in just buy the actual thing, in little dips like we're seeing right now, it doesn't hurt. And also, I actually like these dips because I use them to alleviate my tax. So for example, in fact, I'll draw this. So let's get a little doodle pad out and I'll show you how I alleviate tax with my crypto. I can't do it with all of them, but sometimes, so let's say, I don't know, here is a crypto. Okay, yeah, you can't do it with all of them. So with cryptos where you've got in way down here and then you have a bit of a downturn, you can't really do it as much. But there's sometimes I've put them, you can get some really good tax write-offs. So let's say there's a crypto doing this, you got in here, okay? And you've gone long, you've bought a whole bunch of, I don't know, shitcoin here. but then we have a little downturn and all of a sudden the market goes down here. Now, let's say you've put a chunky amount in here. I don't know. Let's say you've bought, let's say this shitcoin is $1 a coin and you've put, I don't know, $10,000 in. And now it's dropped, I don't know, 30%. And it's now, call it, at this point here, it's 70 cents. So what I actually like doing is I sell to crystallize the loss. So what I'll then do is I'll sell all my coins. So what was it? So I had 10,000 coins up here. I would then sell 10,000 coins and I'll get my 7 grand back. And so what is my net loss? My net loss here is minus $3,000. So I can then use that to offset any profits that I've accumulated, because I'm doing lots of trades. Every time I do a trade, whether I'm flopping out from Ether into Polkadot or whatever, that's a taxable event, unfortunately. So like we're in a bit of a red situation at the moment across the board, and it's great because what I'm going to be doing after this live session is selling as many coins as I can at a loss, so I can rack up all of these little trading debts. But what I then do straight away is once I've sold and I've crystallized my £3,000 loss, what do you think I'm going to be doing? I'm going to take that 7 grand and just buy back in at the same place. So I've crystallized the loss, that's offset my tax, but then I can come back in and buy the same 10,000 coins. What have I actually lost? I haven't. Okay, there may be a bit of slippage. I may not get in the right price, but worst case scenario, I know I've instead of 10,000 coins, I have 9,990. I may have lost 10 quid's worth or 50 quid's worth, but I've offset my tax by $3,000. Does this make sense, folks? So here's one thing I'm about to do, which is why I'm really not worried when I get in. I've got 6 figures about to hit my account. Well, Kraken has basically held 70 grand off me for a while, and I've got a few other bits and bobs. I am actually going to plow it in to a crypto with or the main cryptos I want, and I really don't give a shit about the price. Even like if it's Cardano, it's just zoomed up and it's what $2.20, whatever. I will be putting stuff in there, and I'm actually hoping we have a big dip. I mean, there is the saying in stocks: sell in May, go away. And I'm expecting a bit of a stock market crash, or even a bit of a dip. And when that happens, crypto will also dip with it. And I really hope that happens, because what I'm then going to do, I mean, let's just do the maths. Let's say I put $100,000 in, I'll get 100,000 coins. It goes down 30%. I sell. Guess what? I'll be able to write off £30,000 worth of profits, as in tax saving. And I don't give a shit, because I'm in this for the long run. So after this 30% dip, we're then probably going to see it rally 300%. Does this make sense? This is something that a lot of people don't do, but you need to. Well, depending who you are. I mean, if you're not trading, then you don't need to do this, because if you're simply buying, hold, nothing, you're not taxed until you exit. Whereas I'm doing lots of little trades, so I've got this tax issue I need to worry about. So that's that. Finally, question 5. How are you identifying your shitcoins on Uniswap, Pancake, worth a gamble? Okay, so there's different levels of shitcoin. There's totally useless shitcoins out there like SafeMoon and Kishu, Inu, etc., which has been amazing. I mean, Kishu's, I turned $370 into like $14,000, but I got out late, so I got out at like $10,000 profit. So, in fact, what is Kishu doing today? Yeah, it's still down a little bit. But so there's some bullshit meme coins which are flying on the clinging on the coattails of Elon and Doge and all that sort of stuff. But for me personally, the cryptos I like getting into are the sub ecosystem of smart contract platforms. So, for example, we have Ethereum, which is a smart contract platform. What are the sub ecosystems part of it? So we have Uniswap, which is their DEX, their decentralized exchange. What has happened to the Uniswap price? It's gone up. We have all sorts of different things. We have, so you then have Binance Smart Chain. So Binance is a smart contract platform. What is the DEX on Binance? It's called Pancake Swap. Look at the price of cake. It's gone nuts. And so one thing I look for is the ecosystem of new booming smart contract platforms. So I'm going to invest heavily into Cardano and Polkadot, but also what are what's in their ecosystem? What is the DEX, as in the decentralized exchange, that's going to be run off Cardano? What is the NFT marketplace going to be run off Cardano? What's the Oracle that's going to be run off Cardano? What's the enterprise? There's all sorts of things. Every smart contract platform will have a network of stuff. So for example, I'm just going to find a little picture here, and it'll probably a picture will paint 1,000 words. Where is this picture? Come on. So RT community. 1 second, I'll find it in a sec. Comments. Here we go. Share my screen. So this is what I mean. So here is the Cardano ecosystem. So you have like AMMs, which is automatic market maker. So like DEXs, basically. There's a whole bunch of there. So you could basically have a pot of money that is going to be your ecosystem play, and you simply, put a chunk of money in each one. Now, not all of these are out yet, but we've got all sorts. We've got Oracle. So Charlie 3 is the biggest one there at the moment. You got Query, yeah. So there's also NFT payments, lending and borrowing, yeah. So I'm going to be big on the lending, borrowing, Liquid and Kitty Party. I hate cryptos with silly names, but yeah. So for example, the Cardano DEX equivalent, I think, is called Sunday Swap. That's not out yet, but I'll be putting money into that. So yeah, that's sort of, I mean, you can't go wrong, because when Cardano then booms, it's in the spotlight, and then people will be looking at all the things around that. So that's one thing. Aaliyah, how do you decide when to buy in during a drop? Dollar cost average 10% or wait 20% if crashing? I'm just always buying. Honestly, I really don't give a shit when I get in these days. I really don't. But these days, I guess, yeah, if there's a 20-30% dip, buy. I like to buy after 20 to 30% dips. Because there's more money flowing into crypto now, the volatility is dampened, and it's dampening as we go. I don't believe we'll see a 90% correction with Bitcoin ever again. I don't believe that. I know some people do, but there's just too much money in crypto now that if the market drops 30-40%, you're going to have billionaires around the world scrambling around to buy up. So it's creating a hard floor. Shit. I don't think I shared you. Did I share this? Can't remember if I did, but yeah, anyway. You get the gist of it. Earlier, don't you have to wait 30 days before you can buy back in? Otherwise, they calculate your tax from the original purchase price. I think in some instances you can. It depends whether you're doing personal or business, but you have to double check with your accountant. Question, will you sell? And yeah, in most cases, the 30-day rule is in, by the way. The question, will you sell and buy back only coins that are up, or else? No, I'll just buy my Kryptonian portfolio. Yeah, cool. Sorry, one just Woody, Steve, I think it's Steve, just posted a picture that's in the comments thread, which is this one. Where is it? He said this is the most up-to-date one. Yeah, that's good. Now, obviously, you don't. What is this? Labels. Yeah. Now, then you have the question of, do I buy all of them or not? And here's the thing. Not all of these are. No, I think this is a bad picture. Because if you look down here where it says exchanges, it says Bitfinex, eToro, like these are not part of the Cardano ecosystem. Like Coinbase has nothing to do with Cardano. It's simply a marketplace where you can buy it off it. So some people looking at this will be like, oh, okay, I need to buy Coinbase, or I need to buy Kraken stocks or crypto. I need to buy eToro. That is not the case. So I would take a big pinch of salt looking at this. Like Cardano has nothing to do with Hyperledger. In fact, loads of these things here, Trezor, it's got nothing to do with Trezor or anything like this. So yeah, I would not look at this. What I mean is the cryptos based that are being built on the Cardano ecosystem. Like, for example, Binance is definitely not built on Cardano. So yeah, just be careful when you see screenshots like this. What else is there? Yeah. What else I was going to say? He said, understood that was for Cardano Reddit. Yeah, Reddit is good and it's also atrocious for information. You need a good enough bullshit detector to know what's right and what's not right. And then Reddit can be good. But for most people, Reddit is not a great source of information because you can then get easily swayed by people's inherent biases. So yeah. Like for example, if you're someone that knew nothing about trading and then went to Reddit to try and learn how to trade, you're gonna screw yourselves up big time. What he said, I don't know if you realize, but you are my bullshit detector, lol. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Much appreciated. Right. Any questions on YouTube now? Oh man, there's a lot. I'm going to have to call this a day soon. This is not a crypto session. This is a Sam Hewitson humiliation session. I'm joking. Tackleboys.co.uk and bearingboys.co.uk. Buy his stuff. Right. So Ali has said, can I answer a question from a previous video? I don't know what question that is, mate. You're going to have to type it out. BH Tricks was wondering if you could explain what just happened with crypto. Loads of money going out of the market. And if you could explain a bit about how you spot when a coin has hit the top. Oh, man, that's a big topic. So there's always tree shakes. There's always FUD. There's always, news articles, at the moment. I think this one was because Elon has suddenly gone full reversal on crypto and saying, oh, it's bad. So obviously people are dipping out, and it's most likely that Tesla's probably sold all of their Bitcoin. Who knows? So that's that. The market will always knee jerk around. So I'll just ignore the news. You really don't need to know. You just stick to the bigger models, and the bigger model is that we're in a strong bull cycle, and we should be till December, January time. Because stock to flow is the only model out there that has really stayed on track. So, and in terms of the top, well, it depends what you're trying to do. If you're trying to trade this for quick profits, stay until December time. That's when Bitcoin tends to peak during their bull cycles. Then alts peak a month later. Because the general cycle with things is that, Bitcoin moons, people take profits of Bitcoin, they move into large cap crypto like Ether and Binance, all that sort of stuff. Then they make they then boom, they make nice profits on them. Then it filters down into micro caps. They make profits there. Then people take those profits out and put them into shit coins because they're just paying with profits. They don't really give a shit. And then it's that full cycle. So yeah. Right. Here we go. Craig Holsworth. Hi, Simon. I was wondering if you could explain when moving cryptos or coins from Binance to Exodus, I'm asked for the network key. Ripple asked for key. XRP asked BEP20 or BEP2. Thanks. So I haven't used Exodus. In fact, I can't give an answer. I don't know. I have never used Exodus. But BEP20 is the Binance ecosystem. So when you're looking at Ethereum, or any token based on Ethereum, that's called an ERC20 token. And Binance is called a BEP20, so BEP. So for your one, I'm not sure without looking at more details, I'm afraid, sorry. But John, that's usually me. Oh yeah, said that one. Tumbleweed, do you believe the Wyckoff formation has come true on the Bitcoin chart? Oh my God, this happens all the time. Like pretty much every 3 years, I get this. I am not a fan of harmonics. And it's not that because I don't understand them, I do. I've traded harmonics in the past. In my opinion, harmonics, like the Wyckoff, is pure bullshit because someone will take a chart and go, oh, look, this is the Wyckoff formation. and make it look like it's exact. But look at the lines that they've just drawn. Are they really exact, or have they just superimposed the wicker formation on top of the Bitcoin chart? And you'll see that you can always move harmonics or wick-offs slightly left, slightly right, and then it gives you a completely different picture. So I think this is just another... ideas are like viruses. They really are. They're like mind viruses. And some ideas and threads and things go viral, but that doesn't mean they're true. John, I'd love to pop up to Norfolk and play around sometime. It would be cool to catch up. Yeah. The game price is £1,000, mate. No, I'm joking. Any excuse to play golf. I like playing golf. Johnny said yes. I tried to move $15 of ETH yesterday between wallets, and it said I would get $3 after the transfer. Yeah, gas fees are ridiculous. And another reason why Cardano is going to absolutely ruin Ether in the long run. I hate this question. Hi, what price do you see Cardano hitting this year? At least $5, but I hate these questions because ultimately I don't care. I'm playing with the long game here. Hi, Simon, where do you see Filecoin going? Up. Oh, hey, Elliot. I know you. I've got Filecoin. I don't have a price target. As I said, what I'll be doing in sort of December, January time is exiting most of my altcoins. I'll then be consolidating into Bitcoin, primarily probably Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Polkadot, Solana, and just sitting tight because we're going to have a consolidation. And then I'm just going to sit tight because the real money in this game is the 2025 bull cycle. And that's where we should see Bitcoin running up to $1 million. That's the eye on the prize you have to keep. So that's that. Tom says, do you think it's worth doing a shitcoin tracker, etc., on Uniswap? Yeah, I do. I made a video called the shitcoin. In fact, 1 second. I'm just going to share my screen. Stand by. Where is my shitcoin? Here we go. So I'm going to be very quick, but here, I did the video to my students, but there's all sorts of due diligence here that you can do with shitcoins. We'll talk about tokenomics, the hype, all that sort of stuff. It's a bit of a chore. But what I tend to do is I've got my Kryptonian portfolio. They do their thing. It makes profits. I then eventually get a quadrant, which is my profit quadrant. I then gamble with that quadrant. I may do margin trading, probably most likely not. But then the gamble pot goes into shitcoins. And guess what I do? Shitcoins, I do most of it smart tracker, upcoming punts, and then hypey punts. Hypey punts will be like, Shiba Inu, Kishu Inu, all that sort of stuff. But you just treat your shitcoin portfolio like a venture capitalist would. You're getting 20 to 50 coins. You know that 10% of them will do all right. And one of them will most likely moon. Yeah. So 2 recent ones for me has been SafeMoon. SafeMoon has doubled, which is nice. But Kishu Inu, 10x'd. Literally 10x in 2 weeks. It's ridiculous. There's all sorts of different things you can do. But honestly, don't just try and put all your money in one coin and hope. It's not going to work. Right. Woody, side note, loving your realistic trading course. Very informative. I'm just getting into trading. Oh, nice one. Thank you. It helps to understand foundations, make crypto better. Recommend everyone watching takes a free trial and educate themselves. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Yes, I highly agree. So any questions on Facebook? I think we should call it a day unless there are any other questions. Amanda said, how imminent do you think the stock market crash dip might be? I don't know. Sell in May, go away, as they say. I'm not sure, but I'm not trying to preempt it. I'm just going to wait. You don't need to try and call the tops. You just get the meaty, chunky bit. Matthew Dunn said, Elon tweeted yes, saying Tesla hasn't sold any Bitcoin. Oh, that's good. Aaron said, while I'm having lunch, first, the help with business / crypto has been awesome. Anyone not doing the WAP is missing out. Mate, you're a legend. Thank you. Second, well done on the bet, dude. Thanks. Cool. I think that's about it. I got sore neck. I've been, it's really sad. Oh, I've actually got another bet going on. It's not a monetary bet, but I've got a mate who's a Eurofighter Typhoon fighter pilot mate. And we've got a little wager. There's no money. So, and he hasn't even, but basically I do virtual reality flying. So I've got my VR headset here and my seats, my controls, my rudder pedals, all that sort of stuff. And I fly online. And there's a really cool virtual reality flight sim called DCS, Digital Combat Simulator. It's really good. And I do dogfighting on there. And it's really, really fun. Formation flying, air-to-air refueling. You can do all of that. And the little wager I was like, mate, if you get onto DCS, I'll whoop your ass at dogfighting. And he was like, game on. But the thing is, I'm waiting for him to freaking buy a computer, buy a headset, and get him online. So I think he's stalling. And the thing is, in real life, obviously he would rinse me because he's an actual Typhoon pilot, and I'm a desk jockey that doesn't do any exercise ever. But on DCS and VR, he's coming into my realm, baby. And I treat stuff like a computer game, so it's different. Anyway, I've got a really sore neck because when you are dogfighting, you're like constantly looking around your shoulder, left, right, and like, yeah, I've ripped my neck playing that. So that's, yeah, really annoying. Anyway, I think that's it. Thanks for being here. For those that came in halfway, just wait for the recording to go up on the YouTube page. And then, yeah, the first half an hour is actually the best stuff here. And if you're not sure where to find it, go to YouTube, type in Siam Kid, go to my channel, click playlists, and then click the Wealth Generation Social Chats. And in this playlist is literally the recording of every freaking live session I've done. I mean, was it the 4th of February is when I started doing these daily chats, and every recording is here. And I will be tailoring off, reducing the amount of live sessions I do eventually. But yeah, hope that helps. Love you all. See ya. Bye.